Our story begins with a man shrouded in mystery, his life forever intertwined with the Central Intelligence Agency. Adopted as a child, he grew up under the watchful eye of an organization known for its clandestine operations and global reach. But this was no ordinary adoption. This child, he claims, possessed a unique gift, a sixth sense that allowed him to perceive the unseen and know the unknown. He was psychic. From a young age, he alleges, his abilities made him a person of interest to the CIA. What began as curiosity, he claims, morphed into something more insidious. Constant surveillance became his norm. His life, he asserts, transformed into a real-life spy thriller, where privacy was a myth and freedom a distant dream. For decades he remained silent, his story hidden in the shadows. But the human need for connection and the burning desire for justice eventually drove him to step into the light. This is his story, a tale of alleged government overreach and the quest for accountability in an age of unprecedented technological advancement. It is a story that forces us to confront unsettling questions about the limits of power in a free society. The CIA's history is replete with tales of covert operations and clandestine programs. From the Cold War era to the War on Terror, the agency has operated in the shadows, often pushing the boundaries of legality and morality in the name of national security. One such program, shrouded in secrecy, involved the alleged adoption of children. While the full extent of these programs remains unknown, whispers of their existence have circulated for decades. Some allege that these children were orphaned or abandoned, their identities erased and rebuilt to serve the needs of the agency. Others claim that some children were specifically selected for their unique abilities, their talents honed and weaponized for use in intelligence gathering. The ethics of such programs, if they indeed existed, are deeply troubling. The CIA's mandate is to gather foreign intelligence, not to engage in what could be construed as social engineering or, worse, the exploitation of vulnerable children. The use of children, particularly those with extraordinary abilities, raises profound moral and legal questions about consent, agency, and the very nature of childhood itself. The world of psychic phenomena has long been a source of fascination and debate. From ancient oracles to modern-day mediums, claims of extrasensory perception, telekinesis, and precognition have captivated the human imagination for centuries. Yet despite countless anecdotes and personal testimonies, the scientific community remains largely unconvinced. Skeptics argue that there is no credible evidence to support the existence of psychic abilities. They point to the lack of rigorous, replicable studies and the prevalence of fraud and deception within the field. Many argue that what appears to be psychic phenomena can be explained through more mundane means, such as cold reading, suggestion, or simple coincidence. However, proponents of psychic research counter that the scientific method, as currently applied, is ill-equipped to study such subjective and elusive phenomena. They argue that consciousness, the very essence of psychic ability, may operate outside the known laws of physics and thus require new models of understanding. Section 4. The Panopticon Modern Surveillance and the Erosion of Privacy. In an era defined by rapid technological advancement, the ability to monitor and track individuals has reached unprecedented levels. Closed-circuit cameras, facial recognition software, and sophisticated data mining algorithms have created a world where privacy is increasingly elusive. The line between security and surveillance has become blurred, raising profound questions about the balance between individual liberty and collective safety. Governments and corporations alike have embraced these new technologies, often justifying their use in the name of national security or public safety. Yet, the potential for abuse is undeniable. History is replete with examples of governments using surveillance technologies to silence dissent, target minorities, and consolidate power. The erosion of privacy has a chilling effect on free speech, assembly, and association. When individuals feel as though they are constantly being watched, They are less likely to express dissenting views, engage in political activism, or challenge authority. This creates a climate of self-censorship, undermining the very foundations of a democratic society. Section 5. The Laws Shield Privacy Acts and the Fight for Redress. In response to growing concerns about government surveillance, numerous laws and regulations have been enacted to protect individual privacy. One such law is the Privacy Act of 1974, which governs the collection, maintenance, use, and dissemination of personally identifiable information by federal agencies. The Privacy Act grants individuals the right to access and correct their own records, as well as the right to be protected against unauthorized disclosure of their personal information. It also establishes a framework for agencies to follow when collecting, storing, and using personal data. However, the effectiveness of the Privacy Act in the digital age has been called into question. Critics argue that the law's exceptions are too broad and that its enforcement mechanisms are weak. Moreover, the rapid pace of technological advancement has outpaced the law's ability to keep up, leaving significant gaps in privacy protection.